Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well. It is currently Tuesday today. I did actually film an intro yesterday, but when I watched it back, I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't shaved. My hair was in desperate need of a wash, and I was like, you can do better than this, buddy. So here I am. I feel a little bit drained today, but not in a bad way. So on Sunday, when I did my first hike of 2026, which was far too late in the year to be for me. Anyway, afterwards, I didn't really struggle with it. I think it was about 5 hours long, this walk, but and I didn't really struggle. But yeah, I was proper tired afterwards, and I did actually go to the pub after, which is just a standard rule. You go to the pub after a hike, but I only had one pint, and then I walked home, and I poured myself a red, just a small glass of red, and when I drank it, I was like, I don't even want this. I don't fancy this at all. So there was a little bit of a turning point there. Um, so I thought to myself, like, if you feel like this, go along with it and trust your body, trust your mind. So I did, and I had an early night, went to watch a documentary in bed. Very wholesome vibes. And then yesterday, again, far too late in the year, probably about 4 months too late, but I did a workout. And granted, because my body's not so used to it, I didn't do like a massive one. But I think, again, you have to trust your body, and you have to go with what your mind and your body feels, and push yourself. By all means, push yourself to your limit, but just don't feel guilty, and don't go as far as pushing yourself past the limit, if you know what I mean. So I did exactly that. I felt amazing. My body's aching a little bit, even though I did do stretches, but that's just my body telling me, you're ready, you're doing the right thing. So I feel really good for that. I'm about to make a protein packed salad I've done some peri peri chicken breasts. There's obviously going to be leaves, tomatoes, cucumber. What else? Sweet corn, broad beans, avocado, and boiled eggs. Oh, heaven! I love stuff like that. Just lots of texture, lots of crunch, lots of flavour, and lots of protein, lots of nutrients. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, the only other thing, I need to go to the allotment, because I went the other day and we've had really bad rain here, which is actually been so good, because when I did go to the allotment the other day, magically overnight, all of my wildflowers have bloomed. All of the wildflowers on the side of my plot have all bloomed. Everything has just bloomed overnight, which in a way is not so good, because it's kind of like overshadowing my plot, as in, like, I look like I've not planted anything. So anyway, yeah, I need like a full day really at some point to turn all the soil, tidy everything up, because there's some weeds there, and I need to remulch the ground. It's only a quick job in theory, so it will only take, I don't know, about an hour or two, or an hour and a half. So that being said, we do have another heat wave due this weekend, which means that everything will be drying up, so it might be a perfect time to sort the plot out, sort the beds out, so that it's ready for that sunshine. And then more rain. What else? Yeah, I was due to be going home to Cornwall this weekend, but I'm not going anymore. Instead, I'm going to go to, there's like a local country fair type thing where I live. I've been living here a year now, and I've never really been to anything like that since moving here. So I'm going to give that a go. I'm going to vlog it as much as I can. Obviously there's lots of people around, so I don't really want to be intrusive on anybody, but I'll show you what I can. And I think it'd be a nice little day out, especially with the sunshine. So yeah, in the morning I may work on the plot, come home, have a rest, or even work on the plot on Friday, and then Saturday go gallivanting. So yeah, lots of exciting things. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily exciting, but it's exciting for me. So anyway, yeah, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and yeah, I feel great. I've put on weight, but I'm still very handsome, and that's all that matters. So anyway, yes, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I love you, buddies. Right, bear with me. I've had a second coffee today, which I don't normally do. I have one coffee a day and sometimes I can't even finish that coffee because it just sends my brain into overdrive. But I was feeling really, really tired. I've had a second coffee, well, half a coffee. My brain is working in overdrive, so I just need to offload. But I have a plan, right? So, as it's June, I feel like, first of all, I've learned a lesson. Next April, I am going to make sure that I order loads of propagator pots, and I'm going to plant literally everything that I possibly can in April. I did overestimate my tomatoes, but that's fine because I love tomatoes and those are my favourite plants growing at the moment. But what I should have done is had the same rule for everything, because I've got spare beds, hardly any veg. I've had peas fail, courgettes fail, lettuces eaten. So anyway, this is the plan, okay? So I'm going to take my propagators to the greenhouse today, and I'm going to repot the ones that have sprouted enough into their own separate pots. I'm going to treat them like precious babies, keep them in the greenhouse. Obviously, I'm going to leave the smaller seedlings like lettuce and things like that, but I'm still going to take them to the greenhouse so that I can't see them. And then what I need to do, I've ordered lots and lots of seeds, different varieties of vegetables this time, but mainly I'm focusing on rocket, broccoli, sprouts, cauliflower. So with the rocket, I'm going to put some in pots and some outside because they are fast growing, but they do like to be outside. But I'm scared of slugs and snails, so I want to back up. Broccoli, I'm going to plant that directly in individual pots. Sprouts, the same. Cauliflower, the same. And then I do want a cheeky new set of lettuce and tomatoes, which I'll just put in propagators and keep them in the greenhouse. So I should hopefully I'm adamant that I want some type of harvest this summer. But for the most part, I just want the place filled out with plants. So that's the plan. And hopefully, actually, this means that I get a slower harvest or a gradual harvest over autumn. So win-win. But it's stressing me out because everybody else is like, my neighbouring plot has peas. They've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stuff. And then there's me with... But listen, in your first year, I think, of growing, this is probably... Do you know what I could do at the end of the year is... do like a lessons learned video, because there is a lot that I've learned, but I'm not going to think about that now because I'm thinking about too much. So yes, that's the plan. And then all I need to do is turn the soil and de-weed, and then I'm going to de-weed my seating area, and then I'm going to lay fresh mulch. That's a small job, that's fine. It's all good, it's all good. I just feel like I haven't planted enough. And now I'm like on this mad rush, or maybe my brain is, but yeah, that's the plan. And I look like a granddad in these glasses and this cardigan, but I'm still handsome. So like I said, that's all that matters, buddy. So anyway, yeah, I just needed to let that out of, it was inside, and I needed to put it out into the universe. And to anybody here who is listening, so catch you later. I also want to quickly show you, don't ask me what this is, I have no idea. It was just in my collection of bulbs, and I thought, do you know what, I'll put it in a terracotta pot. But I have a feeling that they're gonna like go over. Maybe I should have just put them in the ground. But they look so pretty and weird. And then there's my random tomato seedling and my gladioli looking very tall. Love it. And here I've got some eggshells because I not discovered, but I had a bit of common sense, and I thought, hang on, people use eggshells to deter slugs and snails. So I'm going to do that. I've only got a few, so who knows, but I got my wool pellets. But yeah, I don't know what to do with these actually, because they weren't intended to be indoor plants. I wanted to have them prettily growing, I guess, indoors, but then I wanted to put them out on the onto the plot, so I might put those out on the plot. These I don't know, because they've got multiple sproutings and there's still some coming up. So yeah, I don't know, this one's quite pretty. I might keep it indoors. It's very unusual. I love it. So yeah, anyway, that's that. And then what I might do is put more bulbs in. I actually want to get. I want to get something that's smaller, and then put moss at the bottom and just keep it indoors. But again, I'm in overdrive, so stop thinking of ideas, George.
I'd love to say that I used to pick his brains about all sorts of brilliant, creative things, but the truth is, me and my brothers used to just knock on his door as kids.
Hey everyone, welcome to book review in bed with Georgie. I don't think that's actually going to become a thing, but yeah, I was just reading this book, Game Changer by Rachel Reed, that I mentioned in my last video, and I had like some thoughts, and I thought, oh, I need to vlog it before I like forget. So I've read quite a few like gay focused novels, like quite a lot of them, and usually quite like earlier on in the book, you can usually tell that it's going to be some really heart-wrenching story, and it's going to have some type of, I don't know, dark twist, or there's going to be some type of, I don't know, grieving or heartbreak or pain, and that's always the case. And I don't know whether I'm going to have the same opinion of this book because I'm only a few chapters in, but at the moment I'm finding it really wholesome and really light-hearted, and it's kind of like, I know I said before that I was worried it was going to be cringe, but I wouldn't say it's cringe and I wouldn't say it's childish, because the characters in the book are adults, but it's kind of like adorably awkward, if that makes sense, and quite swoony. Hopefully that will make sense to people, because I don't know if anybody out there has read any sort of like male romance books, but they do tend to be really heart-wrenching, like Song of Achilles. I became way too emotionally invested in that book. I was obsessed with it. I was reading it on the tube every day. I couldn't wait to go on my lunch break to read it. I couldn't wait to leave work to read it. I was even sort of walking to the tube from work wanting to read it whilst walking, which is actually quite a good thing when it comes to books. I think it takes a lot for me to like really connect with something, but oh my gosh, the heartbreak. So I really didn't want this to be the same. I think that we all deserve a happy ending. So at the moment, this is kind of, I don't know. I'm not saying that there's not going to be any like heartbreak or human emotion in it. Is I don't imagine that it's going to be this whole, sparkly story. But at the moment, I am really enjoying the wholesomeness, I guess. Um, I've also changed my mind about it being a daytime book. I don't mind reading it in the daytime, but laying here in silence and having something quite easygoing and friendly to read is actually really refreshing. Whereas Wuthering Heights, I think it's kind of a bit, maybe a bit too thought provoking for bed. So yeah, I'm gonna just now continue reading. I just wanted to say that because I'll end up noting it down and then forgetting what I wanted to actually say. So yeah, I at the moment, if I was going to recommend it to anybody, I definitely would, and I think I'll link it in the description box below if anyone's curious. But it's Game Changer by Rachel Reed, and then I think the next book in the series is, what's it called? I think the next book in the series is Heated Rivalry. I keep forgetting. And again, I haven't watched the series, but when I did watch it, I was kind of like on edge because I thought, oh god, I'm just waiting for the like heartbreak. But anyway, I really love it so far. I generally don't read these types of things. I'm more of a historical drama. I like things that are really like, I'm such a boring geek, but I love like really historically accurate novels, but with a touch of romance. I do love a bit of like Outlander. I'm obsessed with Outlander, and yes, the time travel thing is not exactly accurate, but all of the historical details in there are so detailed, and there is obviously quite a lot of raunchiness, quite a lot of romance, but it's not romance in, it's like men in kilts and things like that, but it's not one of those middle-aged women charity shop books, if you know what I mean. It's very, very, very intense and just such a great story. So this is new to me. I'm giving it a go. I do think going forward I do probably need to read things that are a bit more light-hearted. And that's probably why I don't connect with many books, because there's so much out there that I'm just on the search for something that gave me the same feeling as Song of Achilles. And the lucky thing about this one is I think there's 4 or 5 books in the series, so if I do end up feeling like that, the story is not over. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, but yes, I definitely recommend this book so far, and I'll keep you guys updated with my thoughts as I go along, I guess. So that's just another genre to add to the channel. But yeah, anyway, good night, buddies. One more thing just before I sleep. This clip is going to be very long. But basically the book that I was talking about is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. It was actually on the shelf behind me as I was reading it, as I was filming, sorry. Again, it's very heart-wrenching, very raunchy, and it follows the story of Achilles, obviously, and Patroclus, his supposed lover, during the famous Homer's Odyssey. Yeah, I couldn't put this down, and I never wanted it to end. But a very, very similar book is, sorry, it's just up there, The Last of the Wine by Mary Renault, or Mary Renault. I think that one was written in the 60s or 70s, so it's obviously not as adult as this. This is a fairly recent publication. But it's about two ancient Greek men and their relationship. Quite sad again, but very poetic and very beautiful. But obviously, again, not as adult. But you can kind of read between the lines, and it's kind of hints at those types of themes. So I will link both of these in the description box below. And another book that I really, really loved is this one. It's, hang on, The Sparsholt Affair by Alan Hollinghurst. I read this like 2 years ago, so I can't really remember the exact storyline, but I'll read you the blurb. It says, in 1940, David Sparsholt goes up to Oxford University. Charismatic and good-looking, he seems to have little awareness of the effect he has on others, not least on the lonely and romantic Everett Dax. As the Blitz rages 50 miles away in London, the university exists in a strange limbo in which nightly blackouts conceal secret liaisons. Aware that they will soon be called up, the two men forge an unlikely friendship that will colour their lives for decades to come. The Sparsholt Affair tells the story of a circle of friends and families, with David and Everett at their centre. We see their reputations rise and fall, watch as one becomes the subject of a national scandal, and follow the impact of such sensational events across the generations. Through this captivating human drama, Alan Hollinghurst explores the social, sexual, and cultural revolutions that made the world we know today. So, very good. I'll also link this below because it is. I think you can tell by now that I do love things that are very beautifully written and quite deep in their emotional context. So, yeah, that's enough waffling for me. Good night. So, I finally got my hands on some peonies. And I paired them with. I've actually forgotten the name of these, but I get them all the time. They smell beautiful, so maybe I should probably learn. But they haven't bloomed yet. Actually, I've really struggled to get my hands on peonies this year. Maybe they're just late blooming. I'm not too sure, but yeah, finally got my hands on some anyway. So anybody who knows me knows that I love me some peonies. Hey buddies, apologies for the late upload this week. Um, I've just been feeling, you can probably tell by my appearance, but I feel so run down. I don't know whether it's because I've been committing to too much or I don't know. I wouldn't say that I've necessarily been overworking myself either, but I do get very overstimulated quite easily at times, so it could just be a case of um, I don't know, the weather's getting warmer. I've committed to much more than I usually would. Um, so yeah, I'm going to end the video here because at the moment I think it's all just random clips pulled together. And actually, I have to say, I know that I said previously that I was going to go to a local country fair here where I live. However, I woke up and realised that I actually got the wrong date. So that didn't happen. And at the weekend, I didn't manage to go on a big hike. However, I did have a lovely weekend helping my friend babysit. And we went out for pizza and it was really nice. But I didn't take my camera with me, naturally, obviously, because I was with children. But yeah, now it's Monday and I feel very run down, so I'm going to upload this. And I don't know whether I'll have an upload this week. I suppose it just depends really on what happens throughout the week, but as it stands, I don't plan on doing anything. There is some work that I need to do on the allotment. So last night I did do a little bit of de-weeding, nothing heavy, and I did remulch the ground by one of the beds because I've got even more courgettes that are ready to go outside, and I've planted lots more seeds. So yeah, now that the weather's warmer, gradually I think I don't have to propagate things anymore. So yeah, hopefully I can fill the plot out much easier now. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to try and chill. I've got lots of cleaning to do. I feel run down. I'm not my best. And I want to make sure that the videos that I produce are just not, I don't want to do like sort of half-assed, haphazard type posts. I really want to produce lots of really nice, wholesome content. So anyway, thank you for watching, and don't forget, if you want to support me in any tiny way that you can, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee account, which I'll put in the description box below. And one more thing, I have officially reached 300 subscribers. Now, to most established YouTubers, that's nothing, but for me, these small little milestones, like it was only a few months ago, I think, that I had 169 subscribers. So it just goes to show that, you know, I do have, I think, secret viewers who don't like to comment and things like that, and that's absolutely fine. But if you could make sure that you like the video, then I would be very, very grateful. But yes, to everybody who's new here or has supported me so far, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, onwards and upwards, because I'm really, really enjoying this channel so far. So yeah, thank you so much. And I'll catch you in the next one, buddies.